Hey gang, it's Rick with Let's Level Up, and today we're going to be doing a Kickstarter review for you guys. And really, it's not a review, it's going to be more of a preview. And we're going to be taking a look at the Paco Games Kickstarter project. So these games that we're going to be looking at come in the size of a 25-cent thing of gum. They are very, very small, and just in comparison, you can see, it's a very tiny little bit of games. Each one of these micro games, however, plays very, very differently. Now the Kickstarter is going to come, I believe, with 4 games. I may be mistaken about that. And then they have one stretch goal announced with Taj, which we've got to look at as well. We took a look at TKO, which I'm holding, Gem, and Taj, and give you our thoughts here now. The first game we're going to take a look at in the Paco Games Kickstarter project is Chris Handy's TKO. This is a boxing game for 2 players. And if you remember, one of the things that's neat about Paco Game is that everything comes in like a pack of gum. It's really so small. You can see how, it's about as big as my thumb. It's just a small game. Now, all the cards are going to fit in there along with the rule book for each of these games. So TKO is actually going to be a boxing game, and the games are rated based on these D6s here. So this is a very casual game. If it was a 2 there, it'd be an intermediate, and 3 would be challenging. What's neat about what Perplex has done here is that they've given us a bunch of different types of games within these little packs. So depending on how you want to pledge in the Kickstarter, you have a lot of different options here. This is a very interesting concept. So we're going to take a look at TKO now. So at the bottom here, I've got 6 of the 8 boxers that this game comes with. Now, I really like the artwork in TKO. It is very fun. All the different characters have their own personalities, and they also have their own starting attributes. Essentially, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking our stick and then choosing an action at the beginning of the game simultaneously. Our actions are uppercut, head block, body shot, or body block. We pick one just by putting our finger over it, hiding it, and then revealing it to our opponent at the same time. Depending on what our opponent picks, one of us is going to get points. And you can see here at the top of each of the player's cards, and these are split in half, there are a series of numbers. If you ever reach the series of number here, the 5, you're going to win the round and be given the round token here. If you already have a round token and you win, you're going to get the TKO championship and end up winning the game. So here we have a sample motion play. Depending on how you're going to be doing, how well you do in the game, if you score a point, you're going to have momentum on your side, and that power indicator is going to be towards you. If not, it's going to be just in the middle or pointed to your adversary if they have the momentum. If you have the power indicator, this allows you to pick where you want the point to go if you win a point. Otherwise, you'll just have to keep the point if you get it, depending on where exactly you hit or blocked. So for instance, if my opponent does an uppercut and I block the headshot, I'm going to be able to increase my head block up to the next ping there. If I get mine all the way up to 5 on any of these, I win the round. So we're basically playing as a really interesting game of paper, rock, scissors. So what I have here as a sample play, why don't you go ahead and grab your, there you go. So what I have here is my son, and he's in here on the other side of the camera, and he's going to pick which one that he wants to do. So go ahead and pick which one you want.
Okay, I'm going to.
Okay, and then keep it hidden, and then you go ahead and show everybody what you're going to pick. You got to bring it a little bit closer to like right here. Okay, so which one of those are you picking? Body shot?
No, the uppercut.
Okay, uppercut's right there. So put your finger over that. So we'll do this in secret, but let's say that I pick the body shot instead. So what I'll do is we'll kind of hide this or do it under the table so that we don't see it, and then we both reveal it to each other at the same time. So he punched in the head, I punched in the body. We're both going to get points here because we both scored. So my uppercut would increase, and his body shot, or rather his uppercut would increase, and my body shot would go up. So my body blow would go up to 3. And we're going to keep doing this until one of us has a score of 5. TKO is a very, very fast game. It is a very fun, little, small micro game that you can play with you no matter where you are. So check it out here as part of the Paco Games series on Kickstarter. The next game we're going to take a look at the Paco Games collection is going to be Gem. Now this is going to be a bidding auction-based game where we're basically going to be trying to acquire the largest, most expensive set of gems between all the players. Now this game is actually going to be a little bit different than TKO in that it plays up to 4 players and takes about a half hour rather than just a little 10-minute game. In this game, we're going to set up pretty much close to this. Each player is going to receive a starting amount of money, either the 1, the 2, or the 3 piece. They each have their own sets there. You're going to set up the line of gems here, starting with 4, and you'll go a stack of 3, 3, 3, 3, and finally 2 gems. So there'll be 6 different stacks. When you get ready to play the game, you're actually going to take the leftmost stack and arrange them in the center of the table so that all players will be able to bid on them. Now you're only going to be able to bid with the cards that you have green side up. So the starting player is going to make a blind bid, saying that he wants to bid, let's say 2, and he'll just flip it around like that to show that he's used it for this round. And then all the other players will see if they're going to match that bid, or rather beat that bid. So the other player can choose to use 3 or not. But remember, the player who's starting the bidding has not yet claimed which piece of jewelry or which gems they want to go ahead and buy. So let's say the next player just says, no thanks, not interested. He'll be able to acquire whatever gem of his choice is to his collection. Now we've got just 3 left over, and then the next player is going to start the bidding process. Bidding is over. You're going to be able to reinvest any of the coins that you have face up to make sure to bring any leveraged assets you want to have in the next round. So you can do something like this, giving you another 3. After all players have done this, you're going to leverage all of your coins back to their ready state so that they're green side up, and then begin the next turn. So then we take the next stack over and then reveal those so that players will be able to see them. So gem, we're basically trying to do is accumulate the highest amount of points here within the gems that we have available to us. We're going to be basically blind bidding as we go through. The game is going to end after the reinvestment phase of the 6th round. So when this stack is over with, the game is going to be done. Each player is going to calculate their scores as follows. You get 1 point for each gem that is on the invested card, green side up. You get 2 points if a player shares the majority of the type of gem with at least one other player. And you get 3 points if a player has the most type of a gem. And the player with the most points is the winner. In the case of a tie, the winner is the player with the most gems. So for instance, if we had 2 points here for having this up, we'll have 3 points for having the most of the emeralds, and we'll have 1 point for having 1 gem invested. I'm sorry, that's not true. We'll have 2 points for tying with the colors here. 2 here, 2 here, and then they get 3 for that. So in this case, we'd win only because we've kind of rigged the deck, and in this poor example here, showing you the 2 gems that we've bought. So the scoring is going to be pretty dynamic. So as you're going through the game, you're going to want to make sure to balance out the amount of investments and the amount of bidding so that you can have as many gems you can possible to invest when that final round comes. So you're going to be bidding throughout the 6 rounds of the game, bidding to acquire these gems in the middle, and hopefully make gem a keeper in your collection. Taj is a game where the object is to score the most points by voting to get rugs displayed in the Taj Mahal that match your secret color goals. So we're going to have a secret color that we're going to try to do, or a series of colors we're going to try to match, and we're going to try to make sure that our rugs are on display so we can get the most points over our players. So let's take a look at it and get it on the table. Okay, so the components for Taj are as follows. We have the Taj Mahal thing here where we're going to put all of the different rugs, which are laid out in green back tiles there. We have our secret goals, which are going to be the color combinations that we're going to be secretly trying to go for. And then we will all receive a all nix voting card and a nay yay voting card. So each player is going to take those. Each player is going to get shuffled 1 secret agenda, and then the rest of the colors will stay here for now. Okay, so our secret color card that we got gives us 2 points for red, 1 point for blue, and -1 points for any green tapestries there. Now, if we actually look at one of the tapestries, you can see that they come in 3 different sections. There's the outer color, the inner color, and then finally the center color. You can see this goes green is the outer color, worth 1 point, orange is the center color, worth 2 points, and pink is the center, or rather, orange is the middle tier, worth 2 points, and pink is the center color, worth 3 points. Now, depending on how this ends up in the Taj, we're going to be voting on things to see how they end up. So essentially what we're doing is the player to the left of the dealer is going to be the proposer, and they're going to nominate 2 of the rugs here to stay. And then all players are going to vote either yay or nay, and depending on the majority of habit, these will either stay and be part of the display or will be removed. And we're going to keep playing until we have a clear winner. The game is going to end when all of the curator's eyes have been flipped to the up position as they are now. Once we've done that, that means all the tapestries have been decided for, and none of the other ones are able to be removed from the Taj. Another end condition of the game is that if there are only 5 of the rugs remaining within the Taj, and the game immediately ends as well. So there we have a little bit of Taj. As you can see, it's actually a pretty fun voting game, and there's a lot of things that we can do to be bluffing the players in the game and provide a lot of really interesting social dynamics that I find very, very appealing in games. It's not necessarily Resistance-esque in the type of bluffing that we're going to be doing, but we are going to be each proposing and maybe even making alliances with each other as we play the game to make sure that our rugs stay in. And if you play the game long enough, you're going to realize that people are going to be going for certain colors or pulling certain colors out. So make your mental notes and know that if players keep wanting green out and you've got the green, you got to do something to make sure that that player is not going to get what he wants. Maybe he's also trying to go for, or he or she's also trying to go for a color to get that out that somebody else is trying to get in. Make alliances with each other, really shake up the table. I think that's going to make for Taj one of the more memorable games that we have here in the Pack of Games. Well, that's it for the Pack of Games Kickstarter project. I think Chris Handy has a lot of really neat ideas here. And for the right price, I would see that this is going to be a really cool thing to have. Now, I do have some concerns in the packaging. They are already a little bit worn, and I've only had them for a little over a week now. And I'm pretty delicate. I wouldn't say I'm delicate, but I'm pretty soft-handed when it comes to my gaming materials. So I think Chris has a lot of really cool concepts. I really enjoy TKO. It's kind of a new look on paper, rock, scissors, but with a boxing theme, which I find very appealing. I like it. I like the artwork. I like the direction that Pack of Games is going here, and this is definitely a Kickstarter I would keep my eye on if I were you. So from all of us here at Let's Level Up, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give us a thumbs up if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel, and always, game on.